Hello, everyone. This is Rick Sartre, and one more time, we're doing one of these member testimonials, if you will, for the North Grenville Toastmasters. And today I have Francine Coté, who's one of our more recent members to our club, but has been a Toastmaster through a work group for a number of years, I believe, before joining us. So today, Francine was kind enough to take the time to have a Zoom call with me and answer a couple of questions. So to start off, Francine, maybe tell me how you first came to join Toastmasters and what was your reasons for doing so?
Well, thanks, Richard, for asking. That's one of our favorite questions is why did you join Toastmasters? I joined that at work program because a lot of my managers and colleagues told me that I used too many words to come to the final update. And the second reason I thought of joining is because I attended a few of the club meetings at work as a guest. And I found it to be a bit daunting with the protocol and the handshakes and the clapping, but I fell in love with the table topics. I wanted more. And I felt that table topics would help me address both those things, right? The first one being too many words to explain something. And the second one, you keep interrupting people, that means you're not listening. So table topics teaches you to listen better.
So for the people listening who may not be familiar with the term, can you explain to people what table topics is?
Yes, table topics is an impromptu activity where you use a structure where you have a beginning, a middle, and the end, where you introduce the answer to a question, or you present an alternative to the question and you answer something else altogether, which is what I really like to do. And the structure is done within a 2-minute time frame. So the goal is to speak for 1 minute, and you can go up to 2 minutes, and to provide a succinct, impromptu answer to a question provided to you by a table topics master. Sometimes those questions, some of them, they hit a nerve. So you want to answer something else, or like I used to do is answer someone else's question and use it for myself, because I felt that it was an opportunity to speak in a 2-minute time frame in a structured way, and would allow me to participate equally with the others without offending anybody. If I wanted to, if I was tempted to say something to one of the questions, I would change the subject.
And how many years have you been a Toastmaster and how do you feel you've benefited?
So I've been with Toastmasters since 2015. I joined in the winter. We had lunchtime. They were bi-weekly at the time, but with COVID, they changed into a weekly from 12:30 to 1:30 session. That way you could have lunch, you could go to your meeting, and then go to your regular office meetings and not miss too much. We found that doing it weekly was more appropriate for workplace because we were pulled apart with all the different management meetings and team meetings we needed to go to. So by doing it weekly, if we missed one per month, then we only missed one. It was only an hour instead of an hour and a half. So I really like those compact 1-hour meetings. Now that I've retired, I've decided to join a public group. I joined in 2021. Time flies. And I was still at work doing the work club, and I was starting slowly to join with the public group. And it's a little different. I think because the meetings are longer, there's more roles, there's time to allow more people to speak during the meetings. It's taking an adjustment period to the new kind of protocol.
Right.
But the personalities and people at Toastmasters, it's the same in the sense that we're all there for constructive and positive learning about better communication. So it's a learning environment, and it's true whether it's at work or in the public club like this one.
Great. A lot of good points in there. So if somebody, let's say that I was on the fence and I was wondering whether Toastmasters was right for me, either to help me in my career or personal life, whatnot, what advice would you give me?
Richard, I'm going to use your question to bring up an example that was brought up to my attention during my early years in Toastmasters. My Toastmaster mentor actually was able to obtain a director or executive job thanks to her skills with Toastmasters, because she went to an interview and she just aced it. And this lady explained to me that she was the most nervous, the most anxious person. When she would go to interviews, she would stutter, stumble on her words. She would be searching because English was her second language. So she would actually struggle with all her interviews. So for years and years, she would stay at the same level. And after going through her Toastmasters program, especially with the table topics, she would raise her hand and say, I want to do this. I want to be the next one to answer. Her ability to present herself with confidence and to speak knowing with knowledge and with the ease of the flow. The people who were looking for a director were impressed with her ability to communicate clearly, succinctly, and also with all the confidence that Toastmaster helps to build or build back. If you kind of set it aside for a while, it comes back fairly easily. And sitting on the fence, in her case, it was like, it's very good for your career, but also for your future career. When you go to assemblies or a political, I don't know how to translate this, but let's say your municipality is doing an open house for their municipal meetings and you want to say something, well, you will jot down 2-3 notes on your little pad or on your phone, and you will know how to structure your presentation to do it within a minute or so. And people will listen because you will speak with confidence, you will speak with structure, and you won't go rambling about all these different subjects. You will learn to focus and deliver. Now, if you're sitting on the fence, we were talking about this earlier, Richard, people kind of have this niggly little feeling inside of them saying, I'm going to a presentation and I know I could do better because I know the subject better, for example. Then coming to Toastmasters helps you to build that experience because you practice all that you want to do. With practice, it comes easier, and then you can be the one presenting. One lady, she became the most sought out masters of ceremony for all our workplace big meetings, the big town halls and so on. She was up there and speaking and not, she wasn't making mistakes during her introductions. She would sit with the people, rehearse a little, and then she would deliver everything smoothly, clearly, and people were impressed because the other hosts that we had before, they were nervous, they were making mistakes with names or with the order of the agenda. Not her. It would just flow out. So these are examples of Toastmasters that I've met over time. And I in my case, I would say that I was one of the persons in the room that would provide an answer to our executive when they asked a question, and I didn't go on and on and on for 20 minutes. So that's a big advantage when you're in a management team meeting. You want to be heard, but you don't want people to glaze over and listen to you ramble like I'm doing now.
Thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
No, thanks. I think the best thing, oh yes, the best thing is to come to a meeting, see for yourself, experience it for yourself, and you might be surprised. You might know more people in your entourage that are already Toastmasters, and they could give you more advice.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Francine.
Thank you.